Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to Transmogrify. Clearly, the show where I slaughter a Transylvanian accent, and as the name happens to imply, we discuss Transmog sets, primarily the locations where you can get the sets, and also some alternatives in case some of the pieces are harder to get, and also throwing in a tad bit of tips and hints as to some of the bosses that you might encounter that could be a bit difficult even at higher levels. We will also take a look at any weapon choices, tabards, and other such items to go along with the sets to make it your own special little look. Now, I am your host, Falcon, and today we're going to be covering the Tier 1 Paladin Set Lawbringer. Today's set has the ability to use tabards in order to switch things up a little bit and allow you to change your color, or change the look slightly. Going mainly with red or blue, pretty good for Alliance and or Horde to switch things up. So let's jump right into it and go with the first, which would be your helmet, in which you get from Gar in Molten Core. Now, to save you a lot of heartache and time and headache medicine, you can also do a quest called Weapons of Darkness, which requires you to go into Blackrock Depths and get the helmet. Though the same helmet, basically. Now, you need to either talk to Master Pyranor, a Blood Elf Paladin trainer in Org, which is in Garrosh's Hold, or if you're Tauren, Sunwalker Atmo, close enough, also in Org, in the Tauren area. And lastly, if you are a human or a dwarf, you need to talk to Lord Garrison Shadowbreaker in the Cathedral Square off to the right of the priest trainers where your paladin trainer is. And that will get you the helmet. Now, there is alternatively another choice you could do, which is the Bright Helm of Justice. Now, this is the same model as the Tier 5 Paladin helmet, but I think it's slightly differently colored. Or it could be the same and I'm just mistaken. You can take a look for yourself. Now then, your shoulders happen to drop off of Baron Geddon. And while, once again, this is a level 60 boss, he does have a move which throws you up in the air, which can cause a good amount of fall damage, so you want to DPS him quickly or have some healing capability. Mages and priests can slow fall, and I think rogues would be fine as long as they can just solo him without dying. I don't know quite how that goes. I'm sure at level 90 it's pretty simple. Now then, there are some alternatives to this one as well. Matching the Bright Helm of Justice, you can pick up the Dawn Steel Shoulder, you can pick up the Pauldrons of the Argent Century, which match the same Tier 5 set. And they look rather good on this as well. Or, as I was just saying, you could pick up the Dawn Steel Shoulders. Now, this drops off of trash mobs. It's a crafted item. It drops off of trash mobs in Mount Hyjal. The Pauldrons of Argent Centuries drop off of Morgren Tidewalker. Next up, let's talk about the chest and the legs. First off, the chest is dropped off of Golemag. I do believe that's the correct spelling. He is a giant flaming rock dude that has 2 corehounds as pets. Ignore the pets and DPS him down, and hopefully he'll drop the items that you're looking for. Other than that, there's not much else to say about it. Now, as far as the legs go, you get these at the beginning of the instance of the second boss. There's one minor boss in between him and between you and it. But he is Magmadar. Sounds close enough. Mainly the packs before him, you need to be careful if you're a little bit lower level. They all have to die, and then you have to wait to do your next pull, else you will have them reviving, and that's never a good thing. Now, the boots and hands, there's not a whole lot special about these. They drop off of just 2 of the mobs that are in there. I know that sounds kind of dumb, but they really just put a curse on you. One, I believe, increases the damage you take from Shadow, and the other one puts a healing debuff on you. That one can be a bit of a pain if you are lower level, of course, but other than that, you should be quite fine and dandy. And last but not least, the bracers and the belt drop off of random trash mobs, so you're just gonna have to farm some mobs and some rep. Why not? Sounds good, right? So then this leads us on to the next part of the video, which would be the things to go with this. I'll be covering the weapons and tabards and such as that. So going about tabards, let's start off with the neutral faction ones. For red, you have the tabard of the Summer Flames, and you have the tabard of the Scarlet Crusade. May or not be obtainable anymore, but for those of us who've been playing a while, we probably picked it up way back in the day. Now, as far as neutral blue, there is the tabard of the Summer Skies, along with the tabard of the Lightbringer. You kinda gotta get a plate wearer to go do their Shadowmourne quest, but hey, you know, it happens. Now then, going into Horde for red, you have, of course, the Silvermoon Tabard, which I think is one of the better looking ones. You do have the Horde Tabard, and of course these are picked up from the vendors that are in various cities. You have two of your PvP tabards, which is the Scout's Tabard and the Stone Tabard. Now, Horde Blue, Frostwolf Tabard looks amazing. And that's actually it. Now, moving on to Alliance, you do have for red, let's see, you have the Stormpike Battle Tabard, which is the AV people. You pick it up for like 2,000 something, almost 3,000 honor points. Same for the Frostwolf Battle one for blue Horde. And then, let's see, what else is there? And then you have your, for blue, you have your Stormwind Tabard, your two PvP Tabards, which are the Knight's Code and the Private's Tabard. And that pretty much covers those. And those kind of give you your coloring. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the weapons. And we're going to try to make it quick, so we're just going to throw up the models of the weapons. So the very first weapon we are going to talk about is, of course, my favorite red-themed Ash Candy, I believe is the correct term, or wording, spelling, whatever. Great Sword of the Brotherhood. Now, it's also nicknamed Ass Candy, apparently, according to the Wowhead comments, but this weapon has a possible history relating to, we're going to slaughter the name, Odin Luthar. God, someone's going to kill me for that. But anyway, so apparently this is supposedly one of the weapons that he wielded that was shattered at some point and corrupted, therefore, by Nefarian to, apparently he corrupted it, and that's why there's dragons on it instead of what it's supposed to be, which is lions. Interesting history behind the weapon. This weapon is dropped off of level 63, I guess, technically speaking. Nefarian out of Blackwing Lair, his level 60 home. Now, getting to him is a problem. You do have to have at least 2 people to defeat the very first boss. Just to let you know, I found no way to solo it. Now, moving on, that's the red-themed weapon we're going to talk about. Moving on to the gold-themed weapon. Now, this is a pretty cool one. Twin Blade of the Phoenix. Now, there's no real history about this weapon that I could find. However, there's some pretty cool things going on with it. Apparently, there is a Canadian singer/songwriter, Chica, who is quite cute. But on top of that, apparently she has the sword tattooed on her left arm. Now, on Wowhead they said right arm, but after looking at the picture, pretty sure that's a left arm that they're showing. But basically, the sword from the hilt is at her elbow on the inside part, and the very tip of the blade goes all the way to her palm, the very bottom of her palm. And what I thought was kind of interesting was when asked why she got it, she said because, well, one, it's a badass looking weapon, and two, anytime someone has to shake her hand to gain her trust, they have to go at the tip of the sword. So I thought that was kind of cool, right? I mean, that's interesting. And so, yeah. Apparently she also met her boyfriend in WoW. So hey, apparently hooking up like that happens. Alright, so let's talk about blue themed. Guys, I kind of failed you a little bit, to be honest. I only have 3 really good blue themed weapons. Good being the passive word. There's more, I'm sure, but I only found 3. Sorry. However, I am going to showcase the Spellfire Longsword. If you are a main hand user, so most likely if you're a caster. This is a pretty cool little sword. It drops off of Menu, the Betrayer, close enough. Enslaved Pins, note normal mode only, so it's easy to farm, which is a plus at least. The other 2, of course, are in the description below, so you can hunt them down. Yeah. It's cool looking. It's kind of like a blue flamey lightsaber type thing. Pretty spiffy. There are other ones like it of various colors, but some of them I believe have been removed, so tough luck there. And that's all I'm gonna... Oh, no. Ha, I lied. I'm gonna slaughter the name, but if you happen to be a paladin, of course, and you happen to not have a shield for some reason, you're running an offhand. Oh, I'm gonna slaughter this name. There's the Thracian Royal Scepter. Yes, I think I pronounced it right. Yeah. So this drops in Black Rock Depths from Emperor Dagran. That guy has a horrible name. Man, his mother must not have loved him. But anyway, the only real reason I like this weapon is because if you're using a mace in your main... Ignore that. If you're using a mace in your main hand, it kind of makes it look like you're dual wielding, which is kind of cool from a paladin point of view. But you should really use the Suncrest shield. Cough. But that concludes this horrible ending. Oh man. This video has taken a little bit longer than intended, but hey, it's about 13-14 minutes. I like it. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys so much for putting up with me during this entire thing. I will start working on part 2. Do remember that everything is down below. If you want a link to it, it's probably there, provided I didn't miss anything. Tons more weapons and stuff that I've put down there that I'm not covering, but you have seen models of cool things. Yeah. Spiffy. Again, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and anything y'all guys want to say, post down in the comments, and I will gladly read them. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a wonderful day.